Privates, welcome back. Another bracket breakdown with all 8 placers and the 4 blood round losers. If you guys like the video, feel free to drop a like down below or possibly share this with a friend. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. As always, stay tuned. Until next time. Alright, 184. Pretty interesting. 1 seed is Parker Kekeisen of UNI. 2 seed is Isaiah Salazar of Minnesota. 3 seed is Dustin Plott of Oklahoma State. 4 seed, Trey Munoz, of Oregon State. Top 8 is like this in my mind: Kekeisen, Plott, Truex, Munoz, Stewart, Pinto, Salazar, Foca, with your blood round losers being Fishback, Berkey, Hawks, and Feldkamp. Here's Parker's path to a title. He has the winner of Brooker of App State and D'Alessio of Lindenwood. I have Kekeisen over Brooker, and then he'll face Feldkamp, then Bennett Berge of South Dakota State. I have him facing Lenny Pinto in the semis, and then Dustin Plott in the finals. Dustin Plott will have Malachi Duval of George Mason, first round. Then he has Chris Foca of Cornell, round 2. Then he'll have Bernie Truax from Penn State round in the quarters, and then TJ Stewart of Virginia Tech in the semis, where he will eventually lose to Parker Kekeisen in the finals. Third placer Bernie Truax will have Cameron Pine of Clarion first round. Then Gavin Kane of UNC second round. He loses to Plott in the quarters, but then he beats Feldkamp in the blood round. He gets revenge on Salazar. Then he beats Lenny Pinto in the Conti semis, and then he will take third place over Trey Munoz. Trey Munoz has Jaquan Anderson of Gardner Webb. Then he will have a Zerov of Columbia. He will lose to Pinto in the quarters, and then has Fishback of NC State. He'll beat Foca, he'll beat TJ Stewart, and then he loses to Truax for third. TJ Stewart getting fifth, his path looks like this. He has Maximus Hale of Penn, round 1. Dylan Fishback of NC State, round 2. He'll beat Salazar in the quarters, but then lose to Plott in the semis. He will lose to Munoz in the Conti semis, and then he will wrestle Pinto for fifth. Pinto's path looks like this. He is Caleb Hopkins of Campbell, round 1. Then Brian Soldano of Rutgers, round 2. He beats Munoz in the quarters, but loses to Kekeisen in the semis. Then Pinto will have Truax in the Conti semis. Loses, he'll wrestle Stewart for fifth, and Pinto will take sixth. Salazar, your 2 seed, has Tony Negron of Arizona State, round 1. Then Ryder Rogotsky of Ohio State, round 2. He'll have TJ Stewart round 3, and that's where he falls, where he will have Colton Hawks of Mizzou in the blood round. He'll have Truax, where he will fall, then he will wrestle for 7th place. He'll wrestle against Chris Foca. Foca from Cornell has James Conway of F&M, not the same James Conway from Indiana that wrestles for Mizzou. He is James Conway, where he'll win. He'll lose to Plott, drop down, and he will have Nolan of Binghamton. Then he will have Gavin Kane of UNC, and then he will have Bennett Berge of South Dakota State. Lose to Munoz, then lose to Salazar for the 7th and 8th place match. Your blood round losers, like I said, are Dylan Fishback of NC State, Bennett Berge of South Dakota State, Colton Hawks of Mizzou, and Will Feldkamp of Iowa State. Here's Fishback's path. Dylan Fishback has Lane Malshewski of Michigan State. Loses to TJ Stewart. Then he will have David Key of Navy. Then Ryder Rogotsky of Ohio State. Then he will lose to Trey Munoz. Bennett Berge has Shane Liegel of South Dakota State. Sam Wolf of Air Force loses to Keckeisen in the quarters, then loses to Chris Foca in the blood round. Colton Hawks will have Gavin Kane first round. He will lose and face Pine of Clarion second, then face Soldano of Rutgers, Conway of F&M, and then lose to Salazar in the blood round. And then Feldkamp, his path is like this. He is Duggan of Princeton, then Keckeisen. He'll lose to Keckeisen, drop down, face Reese Heller of Pitt. Then he'll have Wolf of Air Force and lose to Truax in the blood round. That is 184 as I see it, with the blood round losers.